And you're doing great. Okay, it's like he's done this before. So I just want to share this verse for us. I have a few thoughts around this. And this is from Proverbs. Moderation is better than muscle. Self-control is better than political power. Get my device to work. So tell me if I'm wrong. But in my mind, we pretty much live in a ridiculously supersized culture. Everything's about being bigger. Everything's about being faster, stronger. It's about always having dominance over everything you're involved in. Our culture is big on winning. Our culture is big on being on top all of the time. That is the way of the world. So I have a story for us. My dad was a good guy. Growing up, fixing things with my dad, repairing things with my dad was always super, super interesting because he tends to get things as tight as possible. So we'd take something apart and then he'd put it back together and then he would crank down on the wrench. This happened every freaking time. He'd crank down on the wrench so hard that he would either twist the bolt in half or he would strip out the nut going on there. You know what I'm talking about? To this day, he still does this. He over-tightens everything. I always know when I get a package in the mail if my dad's packaged it because it has like 8 rolls of tape on it, right? I mean, it's going to be tight. It's not going to come apart, and nothing's going to get away from that in any way. There's a lesson in there that I finally begin to kind of pick up on, and that is in life, it's all about using the right tool and knowing how to use it correctly. All right, so who are my mechanical friends? Anybody know what this is? Yeah, it's a torque wrench, right? And so this has a measure. So when you tighten something down, I'm going to give this to my dad for Father's Day, by the way. When you tighten something down, this little scale moves and it tells you basically, hey, that's tight enough. You don't have to tighten it down anymore. You don't have to supersize that anymore. You can stop now. So here's the deal. When we think about our verse tonight, moderation is better than muscle. Self-control better than political power. These are things that come into play in times of anger, for me anyway. And the trick is to understand the gift of anger. The gift of anger. And when we understand the gift of anger, then we apply it in just the right measure. We don't over-tighten it. We don't do it too much. And the other side of that is heaping it on, like exploding and having more anger, doesn't make it go away faster. It doesn't fix anything. It often makes it a whole lot worse. So here's a strategy for us when we think about the political side of this verse. It's not about who you know. It's about who you talk to. When we're mad at someone, when we figure out how we're going to deal with our anger, the gift of anger is to not try to manipulate someone by going to someone over them and get what you want. The gift of anger means that we take that measure that's appropriate and we go and we speak directly to that person. Because what I'm learning in life, and I'm still learning this, what I'm learning in life is that relationships are like rivers. When we're mad at someone in a relationship, it's just like a river. And if we try to control the flow of that river by damming it up or throwing a bunch of stuff at it, it's just going to wash away. We can't control the flow of any of that. The thing to do is to hop in the boat and go with that flow. And when you get in that boat, don't get in the boat alone, because that conversation is critical. Find that measure of anger. That's the gift. And in that togetherness, take the time you need to take in order to breathe, to listen, and to talk. And you do it again. You breathe, you listen, and you talk. And you shampoo, and you rinse, and you repeat. And you do it again and again until you find that right measure and things are resolved and things are tightened back as they should be to just the right measure. Amen, amen. All right.